When you're a man out there on a hunt, you may find that you can't express emotions if you're up close and personal to an animal and you have to look it in the eye and kill it. So this, over 99.9% of human history, men had that role of suppressing their emotions because they had to kill in order to bring food back. We always think of men loving power and maybe women, whatever. It turns out it's tools, technology, inanimate objects that you can take apart. You think of a man in a workshop, pulling things apart, putting them back together. With women, it's just the opposite. With women, you are absolutely endowed by Mother Nature with natural leadership skills. The social mind is one. When a baby's born, the first thing, unless you have ultrasound, the first thing that they do is they hold the baby up and they say, is it a boy or a girl? That's the primary characteristic, whether it's sex is a boy or a girl. But the one that dominates our story here is the secondary characteristic, and that is, in the men, it's the testosterone for strong, dense bones, that aggressive, risk-taking behavior. With women, the oxytocin and the estrogen are an important story. The very first suckle and that first chemical release creates the lifelong bonding, the mother-child bonding, which is why a mother will lift up a car or a tree to save her child. And by extension, that goes to all of her children and to her family and her community. That bonding is hardwired and strong. Empathy, also, women have nonverbal skills of being able to look at someone, tell by a change in their face, how they look, they will lean for, what does the matter? They'll reach out to help. This is hardwired in women because they were having to depend upon each other for the survival of their young children. Touch, again, that homophobia in the Western culture. This is not true in other cultures, but it is true with men in this culture for a large part. But with women, they're constantly touching, constantly, holding hands or hands around each other or embracing. Men were trained to kill. They had to go out and find that animal and bring it back as food. So you find that trajectory from the bow and arrow, the handheld stone to the bow and arrow, to the weapons of war, to the bomb, to the bomber, to the drone. These are all expressions of that first slingshot and bow and arrow as men turn that love of technology in one hand in ways to kill, but on the other just creating the world that we live in today. Men have brought us, a lot of what we look at because of that love of technology and tools. Now, we tend to think of fight or flight as applying to everyone, but it's truly hardwired in men. Men have to go out and in a nanosecond, they assess, is this something that I can approach and kill or tackle, or am I going to have to run away? With women, it's opposite. If you think of 25 years, not 75 years, but 25 years for 99.9% of their life, they could not grab their children and run from danger. So they had, those who were successful and those who survived developed a whole different strategy for diffusing danger. And so that became diplomacy, negotiation, have a bowl of soup, have a sandwich, and take the thorn out of the paw, whatever it took to diffuse that danger. Those who were successful survived and their children survived because they had a whole different situation. They had babies and they were pregnant. Men have brought us this far and they have a role to do. Imagine if women envision a sustainable world and men help create that. Men have the compatible roles with women, but women need to move forward into the visionary roles that they have and the leadership roles that they have. We'd actually like to see that shift. We'd actually like, by the year 2020, to get to 56% in Congress. In the world of business, because it's not just politics, it's business, we just like it to be as a symbol for businesses to say, we want to inspire more women. And believe it or not, because so many women are now, the majority are now women in college. As I said, 60% in universities, 70% in community colleges, 72% class valedictorians. It is beginning to tip, and they're the ones coming out asking for jobs and managerial jobs. And it's going to happen automatically in business, but we're using that as like a target. If you put that up in your business, it says, we want to empower women.